Contrary to what might be a popular belief, I am not dead. I've just been busy with things like my education, work, my music career recently, and I've also been locked in a dungeon for a while. But they're temporarily letting me record and edit this for the tubes. Well, it's been a while since the last GizQuest video, and it's just been a while since my last video in general, but I'll change that. And since then, I've gotten quite a handful of King Gizzard vinyl, and I also haven't shaved much since being put in this dungeon. So first and foremost, the first album that I got since my last video, which I actually did get right after the first GizQuest video, was Omnium Gatherum. Got this as a gift for Nikolaustag, December 6th. I can't pronounce that word. So this Omnium is like a marbled pink and purple. Very pretty. I dig it. The best! And for Christmas, I got 7 vinyl, but a little tale about Omnium and these 3. My siblings and I went on a trip out of town, and we went to this record store, my beloved Cameron Records. Not sponsored. They had a bunch of Giz vinyl I needed, which was Eyes Like the Sky, Infest the Rat's Nest, Chunky Shrapnel, and Omnium Gatherum. And so I called up me mum. I was like, "Hey mum, this record store's got like a bunch of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard vinyl I need. I was just wondering if I could get them." And she was all like, "Yes, that's fine, but you can't have them until Christmas, because Christmas is right around the corner." So, and I was like, "Okay, thank you, Mum, love you." So I got the 4 at the same time, and I couldn't have them till Christmas, except Omnium, which I was fine with. I was fine with waiting. And these vinyl are used. You can kind of tell by the packaging on this one. But the really cool thing about these, and shout out to whoever gave these back to the record store, Infest the Rat's Nest actually had the poster still inside of it. And a little thing about this, you know how I mentioned I sold my soul for 12 Bar Brews? I actually traded my other Infest the Rat's Nest copy for that 12 Bar Brews. And the person I gave it to, I asked him, "Hey, do you want the poster?" And he's like, "Nah, mate. It's too cool. You can keep it." That's like roughly what he said. But when I found out that Infest the Rat's Nest, this one had the poster, I was like, that's so sick. So I gave him the poster for his birthday. Because I'm a cool guy. And Eyes Like the Sky had the download code in it, which was pretty rad. On to the next Christmas batch would be Changes, Laminated Denim, and Ice Death Planet's Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava. I pre-ordered these 3 albums when they dropped because I didn't want this to end up how Omnium Gatherum did for me. When Omnium dropped for pre-orders, I didn't bother to get it because I was thinking,
oh, what if I don't like it that much? What if I just regret buying it?
No, I don't, because Omnium, very, very good album. And when Omnium dropped and I just fell in love with it, I didn't find it in like any record stores near me. And I was upset. I just regretted not pre-ordering it initially. But eventually I did find it, of course, and got these 3. Changes, 10 out of 10 album. I love it. I would die for this album. It is my favorite out of what I like to call the Giztober 3 albums. And the last Christmas album was Willoughby's Beach. Very good album, personally. I dig it. It's pretty good for like an EP, I'd say. I apparently dig it. Cat piano. I I would like try to back up and show you guys my Willoughby's Beach painting, but I can't turn around because of this wall and my cat piano is like down here. So I have the 2018 represses of all the OG albums now, which is pretty cool. Up next on my finds is this Polygon Wonderland. I believe this was the ATO pressing. And I don't know if I mentioned this in my last video, but I'm just kind of like weirder about duplicate albums, I guess now. I curse my past self for kind of impulse buying copies of albums that I already had. But this Polygon Wonderland is different. Because, well, obviously it's different. It's got way different packaging than the other. And this one, different vinyl. It came with the poster. So, I don't really regret buying it because Poly's Poly, dude. I love Poly. It's up there in my top 10 albums of all time. And it's just a good album, and it's at least different from the other copy of Poly that I have. To elaborate on my impulse buying thing, I have 2 copies of Tarkus by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. This one I got for my birthday a few years back, and this one I just kind of bought like a little bit after. I bought this Tarkus because I didn't really plan on listening to the picture disc because they don't sound as good, and I also just wanted it because
Record store day, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Whoa! It's a picture disc. It's got the funny armadillo.
And this one I bought because I did plan on listening to it. This one is more for like a decoration and also just to have. So the Tarkuses, or the Tarkai, I'm not mad at myself about. I'm more mad at myself for things like Asia, 90125, which in my defense, those were only like $1 each because they didn't have sleeves, but still, I just didn't need a duplicate. Another one I'm mad about is my 2 copies of Love Beach by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I bought this copy of Love Beach because it was $6, and at the time, the peak of my humor was Love Beach, so I thought having 2 copies of Love Beach was very funny. You can see now that my sense of humor has evolved and I'm a changed man. Do I regret buying 2 copies of Love Beach? No, not really, but it's stupid. Anyways, back to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They let me travel across the state to go to the forest for a little while, and on my way to the forest, we stopped at a record store. And on my way to was when I got Paper Mache Dream Balloon, the double vinyl version. Pretty rad. "15 infantry paratroop into the properly new scene. Hell's where they wanna be! Infest the rat's nest.